guys, welcome back to West Texas Bushcraft. Today we're going to explore some of the options for your backpack, and since I'm about budget, we're going to do a comparison of non-budget versus budget. And what do I have? Penny stove. Homemade penny stove made out of beer bottle bottoms. Aluminum beer bottle bottoms. This one is a Vargo titanium alcohol stove. 2 pieces. Just like so. Built a lot like the same penny stoves you see all over YouTube, where you take a couple of soda cans and stuff them together. That's essentially what this one is, but I opted for a little bit thicker aluminum on it, so that way it would stand the test of time and be a little bit more durable. But it was also a prototype, so it's not perfect, but it does what I need it to do, because most of the time I use these is mainly to heat up a cup of water for some tea or whatever, or to warm up water for some kind of meal. So what I want to do is put this one up against this one and see how they compare. 25 cents versus 25 bucks. Let's see how they do. Okay, so we'll start with the Vargo. Everybody wants to see how 25 bucks performs. So what you do with the Vargo is I want to use 1 ounce of Everclear. I don't like to use heat or any other kind of alcohol that's an unnatural type, because if I use that and I dump that out in my pack, or it leaks in my pack, it could poison my food, ruin my day. I don't want that to happen. If I use a little Everclear, the worst thing that happens is I'm a little happy at the end of the day. So that's all fine and dandy right there. So I've put 1 ounce in here, and now I'm going to cap it off. In this particular stove, you have to prime it. And how you prime it is you take alcohol and you just dump it all over the top. So it's kind of an extra waste. So it's lit. And one thing to remember about alcohol, hey, look at that, lit the ground too. One thing to remember about alcohol when you're working with it is you cannot see the flame. So you have to be very careful when you're working with that. So now I got a good boil of my alcohol in there. It's floating around in there all nice and neat. And what I'm using here is a Snow Peak titanium pot. Yep, non-budget. Don't worry, I do have other budget stuff at home. But everybody that backpacks likes to use titanium, so we're going to see how that holds up. And in here, I want to put roughly, about 8 ounces of water. So now that our stove is going nice and hot, I'm going to put this on here and start it to warming up. And start the timer. And see how long it takes for that to get nice and hot. So, you can see here, 8 seconds. So we'll come back and check on this here in a little bit when that gets good and hot and see how long that took. 3.5 minute check-in. I think it may be getting warm. It's warm. I can stick my finger in it and it doesn't burn. I think it just went out. So 4 minutes. It goes out. It's just a little bit warmer than bath water. Okay. Not too shabby. 1 ounce. And that's about all the thing holds anyway. So let's see what we get with the budget. Okay, so here's the penny stove. The homemade jobber. This is made to hold a whole bunch, but in this test I'm going to do it just like the other one here. What you do with the penny stove is you take this penny, see that little hole right there? You put that penny right next to it. And I'm going to put 1 ounce of alcohol down in this hole. Now we're burning. Can't see the flame. While that's going, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to pour in about 8 ounces of water. Now, there's where the penny comes into play. We got ourselves a nice jet coming out of this thing, so I'm going to take that penny and slide it right over the top. Now I got it shooting out of the jets on the side. So, here we go. Starting the timer. 3.5 minute check-in, or actually 3 minutes and 40 seconds. We're still going nice and hot. That water's pretty warm. I can't hold my finger in it. Well, let's let it keep going. We're up to 4 minutes now, so let's let it keep going and see if we actually make a boil on this. 6 minutes. And you can see the bubbles starting to form down there in the bottom. That's good and hot. We're still burning too. I hear it and I can feel it. You might be able to see the flame underneath that. Budget, not too shabby. See if we get a boil. We'll keep it going. 6 minutes, 22 seconds. Well, it went out. 7 minutes and 20 seconds. Flame went out. Got some bubbles down in there, so I know that water's good and hot. That gnat that was swimming around there finally ceased movement, so it must be good and hot. I don't really want to stick my finger in that water. Those bubbles tell me enough, and the fact that that gnat's no more. So let's take that thing out. Let's see what we got. Hey, there we go. Budget, non-budget. The watch doesn't lie. The $25 one went out after about 4 minutes. This one went for 7. That's the bottle I used on the Varga stove. And I use a lot more to get it primed and get it started. That's the bottle I used on the homemade stove. I still have almost a full ounce in that left, so it seems to be a bit more efficient. Not sure. Budget's budget. Budget's what I'm all about, but this is my suspicion here. This has so many more holes for that thing to vent all that fluid out of, or all the vapor out of. This one, you can see I've gone through and filled in most of the holes I did before, because whenever I tested this one, it burned out really quick. So I went in and filled in every other hole. So I got much fewer holes on that. So that could be the difference. Just goes to show you, sometimes you don't always get what you pay for. 25 cents, 25 bucks. I'll take the 25-cent one. Thank you. So, until next time, guys, y'all go get dirty and use your new stoves.